The Parrot and the Peacock's Flying Contest. Once upon a time in a lush green jungle, there lived a beautiful peacock. All the peacocks in the jungle were proud of their gorgeous tail feathers. They would constantly preen and pose to show off their feathers to the other birds. But there was one bird who didn't care about the beauty of her feathers, and that was the parrot. The parrot was green with a bright red tail, but she spent most of her time keeping it tucked under her body. She had never flown so high herself, and she couldn't believe that she had actually done it. She was the bird of the year, and all the other birds looked up to her. She had shown them that being different was something to celebrate, and that being yourself is the best way to be. The peacocks still preened and posed, but now they also practiced flying with their tails out to the side. They wanted to be just like the parrot, free and graceful. And the parrot, well, she continued to be the bird of the year, happily flying around the jungle with her head held high and her tail tucked under her body. All the other birds, especially the peacocks, were very disappointed. They couldn't believe that their beautiful tails weren't enough to win the contest. The parrot, though, was very happy. She had proven that being different wasn't a bad thing. In fact, it made her special. The other birds teased her for not showing off her tail, but the parrot didn't care. She was happy being green and having a plain old tail. One day, all the birds in the jungle were invited to the annual Bird of the Year contest. At this contest, the birds would show off their talents, like singing, dancing, and of course, displaying their feathers. There were all kinds of birds there, from the tiniest hummingbird to the largest crane. But the stars of the show were definitely the peacocks. When it was her turn to show off, instead of putting her tail out to the side, she tucked it under her body and flapped her wings. She took off into the air and flew around the clearing, going higher and higher. The other birds gasped as they watched her fly. They had never seen a bird fly with such grace and freedom. The parrot flew around the clearing a few times before landing back on the ground. One by one, they took their turn showing off their tail feathers. The parrot watched them, feeling a little left out. She wished she had a colorful tail like theirs, but then she saw something. None of the birds could fly with those huge tails. They could barely move around in the air with all that weight dragging them down. The parrot, on the other hand, could fly beautifully because her tail was small and light. The peacock was certain that she would win because she had the most beautiful tail feathers in the jungle. She practiced her pose for weeks, holding her tail out as wide as she could and strutting back and forth. All the other peacocks did the same, and they were all very confident. When the day of the contest arrived, the birds gathered in the clearing. An idea started to form in her mind. When the judges, who were 3 wise old owls, announced that the winner of the contest was the bird who could fly the highest, the parrot knew that she had won. From that day on, the parrot was no longer just the green bird with the plain tail. The end.